Thank you, everybody. Well, after a magnificent drive to his first win in Formula One, it's my great honour to announce you Arise Sir Oscar Piastri. I'm not sure what they do, but anyway. Yes, of course I have the power to do this. Don't you know who I am? Look, it's on the shirt. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Forza Ferrari. It is the sprint weekend today at the Austrian Grand Prix and we are rebounding brilliantly, hopefully, after Piastri became the 5th Australian to win a Grand Prix race. And bonus points in the comments if you can guess the other 4 or know the other 4. Don't look up on YouTube. Don't look up on Google though, that's cheating. It's not that difficult. And yeah, so that is brilliant. Let's hope we can do a back-to-back win here again. It's a sprint weekend, so we need to be a little bit quick in the intro here. Oh, actually, before we do this quick update, you can see reminder the constructors, we did pull back a little bit on Red Bull. Giovinazzi, did he pull back on Verstappen? I don't think he did he? Because Verstappen actually beat him in the race. But yeah, Piastri obviously had a good race and got over the 100-point mark. So we'll see what we can do here in Austria, because sprint weekend means a chance to score more points. Now, nothing changes on Piastri, who was that? Giovinazzi's car. Oh wait, no, it does. Wait a second, something does change because we've got a new front wing. So let's have a look here and see, does it move us up the grid a little bit? Yes, it does. So we'll stick that on both cars. And then also going on to Piastri's car for this one. Now, did he have the rear wing last time? I can't remember what he did and didn't have. He didn't have the side pods, did he? No, so he'll get the side pods on this for this one. And the underfloor, did he have that? He did. What was the other thing? The suspension? I thought there was something else he didn't have. Maybe it was just the one thing. So he actually had a pretty similar car then. We've done that one. Rear wing, they should both have. Side pods, we've just given both of them. Yeah, okay, so that's all good. Let's hope the new front wing does a little bit of good for us here. Now, we're expecting rain for qualifying, rain for the sprint, but it is going to be a dry sort of rest of the race. So it's going to be a little bit stressful potentially, especially if there's pit stops in the sprint race. So red is sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3. Sections by speed. We can see there lots of long straights at Austria. It's one of those tracks that it doesn't look like there's much to it, but there is actually quite a bit to it, isn't there? Time consideration, so 22 seconds for a green flag pit stop is a fairly sizable loss. We're expecting potentially a 2-stop for the main race. And the soft tyre is only about half a second quicker than the hard, a couple of tenths faster than the medium. So really, if you look at the pit stop time loss, it is only a fairly short lap, but still, I don't think the extra stop is going to necessarily be worth it, is it? Pierre Gasly in an Alpine won here last year, but other previous years, Red Bull and Verstappen have won. So let's hope we can make it 2 years in a row here without a Verstappen win. Qualifying, 1 car in the top 4. We should be able to hopefully manage to do that. Finishing position, 1 car in the top 4. Well, let's go for fastest lap. Why not? And then we need 2 cars in the top 6 in qualifying. Now, I'm assuming that's regular qualifying, not the sprint. And we need 1 car in the top 6 for the race. If we don't do that, something's gone horribly wrong, hasn't it? So let's head off to Austria. Alright, so we have moderate rain for today with qualifying potentially, then moderate rain potentially for the sprint as well. So only get 1 shot at free practice. Let's hope I nail it, and I'll see you for qualifying in a second. Alright, so we've done our free practice session. Now, it did rain during it, so the lap times are essentially don't mean anything because it rained at the sort of second half of the session. So we only did times on hard tyres, and to be honest, 8th, 7th and 9th on a hard tyre is not terrible, that's for sure. Now, I don't know how the setups have gone yet. Let's have a look here. So that's looking like it could be a lot better, from worse I should say, from 38. And Piastri's setup is looking fairly decent as well. So yeah, that's about as good as we can get. Only 1 session's really, really difficult. Alright, so we'll put in the new engine parts. I almost clicked continue there with the old engine parts. That would have been a disaster. Or would have been grid penalties is what it would have been. So, Q1 shouldn't be a problem for us. So let's hope that is indeed the case. So indeed, no trouble at all. Piastri had to do a second run. He got a little bit of traffic on his first one, but second run, same set of tyres, absolutely fine. It did rain sort of in the middle of the session, so that sort of meant we were safe. You can see there cars that went out. The Hassas, as is traditional, both Williams and Guan Yu Zhou. So it's more or less exactly what you'd expect, isn't it? On to Q2, let's see if we get any rain there. All right, so it is going to be a wet session, it looks like now. Unfortunately, we've not got Piastri's set up particularly good. which is bad, especially traction. That's probably the one thing we do want. Giovinazzi, however, not too bad. I'll take that. So, wet session. Here we go. So I think what we'll do is we'll go straight out. Just get a time on the board. It looks as though the rain is going to ease off. So, excuse me. We'll get this time on. At least we've got something then. As long as they don't crash.
Negative.
So that's on the board. And then we can go and stick inters on. And sort of wait for, potentially, a run to come on inters. So, I'll bring you back. If anything looks like it needs to happen, it looks like it is actually... Oh, now, it's actually...
Yep.
It could go to dry here, you know. I think it is going to go to dry. So let's stick on new softs. So we might just get the one run at this. And hope... Are we going to get a run at it? Maybe the track isn't going to dry out. I mean, it's not going to get any wetter, according to the forecast. Famous last words, that one, of course. I'm a little concerned it's not going to dry out enough. Oh, wait, here we go. Starting to dry out now. Okay, so we're going to want to beat last car across the line. Get the best track conditions. It is going to be dry, is it now? So let's just get out there. And yeah, it's all going to be on the line for this last lap. And we know traditionally that doesn't always go well for us. So let's go and jump on board here with Giovinazzi. And hopefully we're not going to get too much traffic. But both cars are going to cross the line with plenty of time to spare. Piastri goes across now. Now we're going to be doing green sectors. So that's going to be a little bit misleading. Because obviously last time we were out on track it was on wets. Did Piastri get held up at all there? I don't think so. I think he was far enough back there, wasn't he? And there shouldn't be, a look on the mini-map, any other traffic between now and the finish line for both cars. So we've got a nice gap on track. As you would expect, we're going faster. Not purple, though, which is slightly concerning. Giovinazzi comes across the line. He goes second. Piastri, he comes across the line. What's he going to do? Oh, he's only 12th. He's out. Piastri's out. Well, that's not what we wanted to do, to defend our race win, is it? So a 13th place start in the sprint. Crucially, we do have a little bit of time to maybe make that up. But yeah, that's not ideal. So it's all on Giovinazzi now. Let's see what he's going to start the sprint from. All right, now we are expecting rain in 3 minutes. Everybody's on track. We shouldn't get any traffic. It's going to be a one and done, this one. Assuming that doesn't dry out towards the end, but it's only, you know, obviously each, or maybe you don't know, but each qualifying session, Q2 is shorter than Q3, Q1 is shorter than Q2. So we'd expect him to be doing purple because he is the first car doing a timed lap. And one of the Red Bulls, it looks like, has just gone faster than him. But let's see if it could start pissing down now. That would be brilliant. Well, everybody else is still on their laps. And we have gone a 1:03.9.
Okay, that's...
I don't think that is particularly good. No, Bottas has beaten him. What is it with Giovinazzi and these one-lap dashes? He's terrible at them. 7th. Good thing he wasn't around in the days of one-lap qualifying, isn't it? He would have been at the back all the time. Maybe a slight blessing is that Verstappen is only 5th, and of course it's a sprint race. So we've got that to actually get our place for the Grand Prix. So let's see how we do there. Alright, so here we go with the sprint race. We're on a medium tyre. The soft, anybody who's on a soft is not going to get there. I think we had this problem with cars doing this last year, didn't we? Where cars on softs it just doesn't get there. Not at any pace. We've got a yellow flag. Looks like we're okay. What has happened there? If it was both Red Bulls, that'd be nice. It's way at the back. It's the insignificance that have all come together there. Oh, it's the actual... Oh, you'd be livid, wouldn't you? Anyway, so Haas is out. That looks like... yeah, no one's going to miss them really, are they? Let's be honest. I don't know why Haas is always really bad in this game, aren't they? And in real life, it's you know, obviously they're taking steps forward, so it's a bit strange. But anyway, 6th and 13th. So Giovinazzi's made up a spot. Maloney's got the penalty for that one, but it doesn't really matter because, you know, they'll be starting last and second last anyway, unless somebody retires. So now what we can't do is push the tyres like this the whole way. But what we can do with DRS now enabled is obviously have a little bit of wiggle room to push them on a bit. So we've got a very good run out of there. We're on board with Giovinazzi, but he's not quite managed to get that done. So what we don't want to do is sort of go too early and too hard here and see what happens. Piastri's got a lot of hard tyre runners around him, so he probably needs to go... Well, it's a lot of hard tyre runners. So he probably does need to try and get some overtaking done sooner rather than later. Can he get one done there on K-Mag? He should have... Oh, K-Mag's still got DRS as well. Should have him up the inside here, though. Surely that should be move done. And Piastri's up one. He needs to try and get back to the points here, doesn't he? Get a decent starting position anyway for the race. Alright, now Giovinazzi has just got past Bottas for 5th. There's now Stroll in front of us and then Aston Martin and then a bit of a gap to the front 3. So hopefully we're going to get this done. A bit of DRS assistance on Stroll. We should have been behind the detection point there as well. So that's that done. Now we need to try and get up the road with Giovinazzi if we can. Piastri is maybe struggling a little bit. He's still in 12th. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He's got overtaking needed, though, obviously. Alright, so we have Giovinazzi is currently in 5th still. We actually dropped back. Norris and Stroll both got... Well, Stroll got back past him. Couldn't quite break the DRS, and Norris just kind of steamed up the inside and overtook them both. It was there's no replays, unfortunately, in the sprint. Otherwise, it would have been a very nice one to show you because it was a cracking move in Norris, to be fair. So we are now trying to... we're going to use our battery here with him and just try and get where we need to be, which is ideally ahead of Ocon and up into 3rd. Maybe not go too hard on the tyres. We could even get Russell here. As you can see, it's not a million miles away. But we will sit behind him for a little bit and not try and get that done too early. I think Verstappen is 3 seconds up the road. I think he is just kind of gone. So we won't worry too much about that. Now Piastri, we need to try and get him moving forward here as well. Obviously, he's never as good on his tyres, which is a little bit problematic. So yeah, we do just need to try and figure out when we go with him. He's got a little bit of a gap behind him. So what I'm thinking we might even do is if we can try and like top him up, or while there's that gap to Magnussen behind, we might even harvest. As long as we can stay within DRS of these cars in front, Gasly on his soft tyre is going to be increasingly slow. So yeah, we just need to pick our moment a little bit with Piastri of when to exactly go. If we could charge the batteries up and then have sort of 2 laps of just full push, that might be the ideal scenario. But we'll see. I'll come back for the last couple of laps here. Alright, so we are coming around to start the final lap. Obviously, we are pushing very hard with both cars now. Piastri's up to 10th. We'll stay on board here with Giovinazzi as he's about to get George Russell. And let's see if he can now keep it down this back straight. And then we'll very quickly go and have a look at Piastri, who is entering the back straight himself. So Giovinazzi's done that. Are we going to be able to get anything else going here with Piastri? It doesn't look like it. Unless something happens with these cars in front. So a good recovery drive from Giovinazzi. He's going to come across and get himself a front row start with fastest lap on the final lap as well. And Piastri was not too far away from the top 7, but he'll be starting 10th, which isn't ideal. And we're all out of petrol as well. Alright, but to the main event where we are not expecting any rain. So you can do soft, medium, soft. Now, what are we doing for tyres here? We've got plenty of mediums and plenty of softs, so no worries on that front. I wonder, now Piastri, looking at that, is going to need to do a medium, 2 mediums and a soft, isn't he? So that's fine. We can push those on a little bit, go onto a soft tyre maybe a tad later, and then he'll have better tyres at the end. There's an argument to say do soft, medium. You know, that is actually a good argument. If we start on a soft and then do medium, medium, and it was a comment to this an episode or 2 ago, then we're constantly getting the undercut because we're stopping before other cars. So that makes sense. So let's do that with Piastri. He's got a little bit of work to do. Do we do a similar sort of thing with a soft medium? Again, so we're constantly getting the undercuts. Yeah, it's very, very marginal. But I think Giovinazzi can just about pull that off, can't he? Starting on the front row as well. So that's that. Let's see what we can do. Piastri, of course, doesn't have that ideal setup. He's got the bad traction, which might explain a little bit why he is struggling. We really can't afford to go hard on the tyres with Giovinazzi, can we? I'm increasingly wonder if the medium is the way to go, because there wasn't a huge difference in the lap times. I think we might do that, actually. Yeah, I think I like that. Maybe just a little bit better. So we'll do that, and that allows him then to push on at the start as well. Anyway, let's go see what we can do here. Alright, welcome back. Let's, like I said, let's see what we can do. Giovinazzi on the front row, Piastri a lot further back than he's used to starting. Now, what I don't know is, do we need to tell him not to defend again? We do. And Giovinazzi's got a decent run here. Now, there's a yellow flag. Multiple cars have crashed. Piastri isn't one of them, I don't think. I didn't see any damage. What? Oh, Haas, never change. It's exactly the same. Oh dear. Is that Stroll? Just K-Mag doing just a massive send up the inside. So Giovinazzi's in front. Now, what tyres are we looking at here? So we do have a tyre advantage over most of the field. So we probably will need to make the most of that. De Vries gets the penalty this time, just to make sure that both sides of the garage are angry there. Piastri, as I said, that was dropped a spot, which is not ideal. But we'll deal with that as time goes. And, yeah, he's sort of in amongst soft tyre runners as well, which maybe isn't ideal for him. But we'll try and break the DRS to Verstappen. It's a bit of an ask. We won't completely drain the battery, though, with him. And, yeah, well, it's not looking good for Piastri. He's losing the back of the cars in front, and he's got a bit of a queue behind him as well, so... Oh, we've got a virtual safety car, and it's because of Giovinazzi and Verstappen. Now, I wonder, I was using conserve on the tyre just sitting behind Verstappen. These tyres got cold. Now, is this going to be Max's fault? I mean, it looked a little bit like Gio sort of turned down onto him. But, I mean, that's unnecessary going for the lead of the race, isn't it?
Safety car.
So it's a full safety car.
What's your delta? Copy.
So we can't really do anything
Keep temperature in the
there.
tires.
Verstappen is not out either.
Tires.
So that is pretty disastrous. Is there a penalty, and does it go to Verstappen? Otherwise, Gio's going to have a grid place drop for the next one. Oh, and the penalty does go to Giovinazzi. So, oh, it's a disaster. And then, of course, we've got to wonder... So everybody's coming to the pits. Should we have done that? Should we have done that? Because we would have to... Yeah, we probably should have maybe... Under a full safety car, you should probably always stop, shouldn't you? So a double whammy, I've stuffed that up as well. So, I mean, I say that I've stuffed that up. Everybody's on a hard tie-up. I mean, I wonder if maybe we will have the pace. But yeah, under a full safety car, I probably should have stopped. We need to really try and break the DRS to Stroll before it comes back on. We'll have 2 laps to do that. And if we can pull a bit of a gap, 22 seconds is what we need. So we've got a little bit of work to do before a pit stop. But you never know. It's going to depend later on down. I'm trying to figure out, so if they're doing a hard tie, then they'll maybe do hard mediums to the end. Yeah, so this is not really working out at all how I would have liked. We're back to 4th. We just don't have, on the old tyres, we just don't have the pace. I think what happened was because, I mean, I was caught up in Giovinazzi and then I kind of missed that it went to a full safety car. So, yeah, I mean, that's me. That's not an excuse. It's just me not comprehending what's going on quick enough. But yeah, when there's a safety car, obviously you should always stop because you're unlikely to make up the difference, you know, the 22 seconds or whatever it was, 16 seconds under a safety car that you lose. So, it'll be interesting to see later on in the race. I mean, it doesn't look great now, granted, and that is because I've stuffed up. But they might be sort of conserving tyres a little bit more. Maybe it comes back to us a little bit. But yeah, it's not looking particularly good, is it? As Leclerc gets past us as well. Alright, so we are going to come in this lap from 5th. We're going to come out last. Verstappen's not flying through the field. I imagine he's probably got some sort of damage from that crash. The issue we're going to have is it looked like a pretty hard hit for Giovinazzi, gearbox, engine, that kind of stuff. Like, how much damage has he done as well? So, it's not ideal. It's just not ideal all round. But anyway, we have come out as expected in essentially last. So we've got a lap or two longer, so we have a little bit of extra that we can use the tyres for here. And then I think, excuse me, we're going to have it crack for fastest lap. I'd like to think we're still going to have enough pace to get to the top 10. So a fastest lap point would be maybe a bit of a saving grace here for us. So let's go full beans for a lap. And see if we can indeed go and nick fastest lap. And then, yeah, just try and pick our way through. How's everybody else doing for tyre wear? So not too badly. They are probably going to be doing another stop. I'm not going to have another set of hard tyres. Everybody should only have had one. Not a purple first sector for Piastri either, which isn't great. So yeah, they'll probably all be on mediums to the end. Purple middle sector though, that's more like it. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out, obviously. But this is where we've got to make quite a bit of a difference. And we have indeed done fastest lap with a 106 something. Which is quite a bit quicker than anybody else is doing right now, I think. They're all doing 108s, 109s for Maloney in front. Alright, so it's going pretty well. We're coming through the field nicely without sort of any gimmicks, as in sort of charge laps or just using the tyres normally. We're doing 107s, which is up to 2 seconds a lap faster than the other cars on the hard tyres. So it is coming back to us. Now, of course, we weren't leading the race with Piastri anyway, were we? He started 10th, so he was sort of around Sainz, I think, wasn't he? Or was that the sprint race? He might be getting them confused. So he is coming back through, which is the main thing. Verstappen is as well, which is annoying. But yeah, we'll just see. We'll just see how this shakes out. There, in terms of pit stops, I think everybody's going to be going to roughly the same point to put on a medium to get home, you know. So if we can keep being 2 seconds a lap faster than everybody for the next, 15 laps or so, we're only 20 seconds off the leads. Maybe it might work out for us. But yeah, only 108 that last lap, but that was sort of a little bit stuck behind Gasly as well, wasn't it? So yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we should have stopped, but we might make the most of it. I'm just thinking, what we could really use right now is a red flag, because we would still have a hard tyre to put on. Nobody else would. So we could put on a hard tyre and go to the end, and nobody else would be able to do that. So come on a red flag. As long as Piastri isn't involved in it, that'd be brilliant. Alright, now, Russell has just come in the pits. It looks like we're starting to see some pit stops. Now, we did have Verstappen come in for another set of hards, as did De Vries, who is not really in the race. So, where did Russell come out? Just behind us on a medium or on a hard? He came out on a medium. Yeah, so I was right. Everybody is going to roughly be starting to come out onto a medium now. So what we don't want to do is get caught out, going around in our old mediums for too long. So we'll pick up the pace a little bit here. It looks like Leclerc is about to come in. So, yeah, we should score points here. I would be very disappointed if we didn't score points. I'd like to think we could maybe get to Bottas. We want to be the top Italian mark. I don't want to get beaten by an Alfa Romeo, but yeah, it's just one of those races, isn't it? It just feels like nothing has really gone right for us. Now, I tell you what would go right for us now is a virtual safety car. So let's come straight in, put on our mediums.
Big crash there.
And if it wanted to be, one of the leading cars or someone ahead of us. Oh, it is. It's Stroll that's out. So that's a position for us now. Now, can we have a good pit stop? Maybe jump some cars. That'd be nice. Off on go. Go. Is that a pit stop or is that traffic? It's a bad stop. Honestly, I give up. I just give up. We're behind Verstappen again. Alright, so virtual safety car has ended. We'll get a bad time for Tsunoda to come in. We'll get a better idea of exactly what that's cost us, but it's a 6-second loss in the pits. Now, obviously, it's limited because it was under the safety car, but 6 seconds up the road. We should have been ahead of Sainz. We should have been about Alba. We should have come out in 8th. And instead, we're in 12th and got to now try and get past Porsche. Everybody essentially has stopped. There's somebody that owes us a stop. It's Perez who's leading, but everybody else has stopped. So yeah. Oh, so we've got a crash in front of us, and it is Alexander Albon, and is that George Russell or Verstappen? There's damage anyway, and that might pick us up a position or two. So it must have been Verstappen, yeah. So I wonder if he's having the sort of race that we're having. Verstappen, isn't he? He's hitting everybody. So yeah, Albon has to pit. So that's at least another position for us. We do have Perez right behind us. Give Verstappen a penalty. No. Yeah, well, we've actually got Perez just in front of us now. He stopped from the lead, obviously. We should have nothing to fear from him in terms of pace. So we might even be able to work together and, move us both forward. But, yeah, Verstappen and Sainz are just in front. So we'll see what we can do with them, and then we've got 5 seconds up the road to a bit of a Bottas train. So it looks like Verstappen might have got damage from that, because we are, it looks like, about to cruise past him. Now, he is on a hard tyre, granted, but that felt very easy, didn't it? Let's hope he holds up Perez for a little bit here, at least while we get into Sainz's DRS. But yeah, that's always nice to cruise past a Red Bull, isn't it? So we've got 14 laps to go. Piastri is more or less, he is the fastest car on track right now, which is good. We are slowly catching Sainz in front, although in truth the gap is sort of staying between 1.8. This is probably about as big as it's been in the last 5-6 laps or so. Everybody, we are both catching this Bottas train though. So the gap to Bottas is generally coming down. You can see them there. It's the first we've really been able to see them. So I think Sainz is on a bit of a push lap here, because you notice the gap Sainz to them has come down quite a bit. We've, I think, broken Perez. So as long as nothing else goes wrong, we should be looking at 8th at worst. Verstappen is good news for Giovinazzi. Is only going to score a point at most, it looks like. And yeah, the problem, of course, is that Russell is winning the race, and that's going to really hurt us in the Constructors. But it might be, in what has been a very difficult race, as it always is when your number one car ends up sideways in the barriers, it might end up not too bad, particularly if we can go and join this battle for 4th or here or so. But we might run out of laps for that, I think. We're quick enough, but I don't think... Let me try that again. We are quick. I'm not quite sure we are quick enough. But we're just outside DRS now of Sainz. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, to get that? Alright, so we have caught Carlos Sainz. We've done a little bit of harvest and whatnot to try and make sure we're going to do this easily. We have done that easily. And now we will set our eyes up the road. We might deploy. Try and close this gap down as quickly as possible. It looks like the Bottas train has left the station. So it might be yeah, Bottas might be gettable if he can, yeah, Leclerc perhaps. But we're going to need to be very, very quick here to try and get that done, I think. And of course, not only are we running out of laps now, but we're running out of tyres as well. But I think if you look at everybody else's tyres, we're no worse off. We're in a pretty good position compared to most cars. Perez is quite strong. But yeah, Norris is leading the race now as well. Now that would be a good thing if Red Bull could not win the race. That's helpful, obviously.
Big crash there.
Oh, we've got another big crash. It's been that sort of a race, hasn't it? Let's see who's involved this time. Is it anybody of interest? No, it's well behind us. But we do have DRS to this battle in front now, which is potentially huge. The plan here is we're going to try and harvest up till I think we can get both of them, as Ricciardo's got himself a penalty. And hopefully get ourselves up into 5th would be ideal. We just need to make sure that we do, having worked so hard to get into DRS, not go and lose it now. So I think we're going to be okay. Yeah, we've caught that back up pretty quickly. We might even go to light while we're down these straights and see if that just helps us save a little bit of tyre life. 4 laps to go. Must be 4 laps to go. Maybe it is 3 laps to go. Either way, it's almost time to strike. All right, so with 2 laps to go, we're attacking. We'll try and get Bottas first here, obviously, and then a non-DRS Leclerc should be relatively straightforward. So there's Bottas. Can we go and get Leclerc now? We don't need to do it this lap. Let's just go back to neutral, make sure that we do have a little bit left in the tank. But I think to come back to P5 here would be a pretty good result for us, I think. So we don't need to go too early. Let's deploy up here and hopefully get this done. We should have DRS down this straight, and that is going to be P5 for Oscar Piastri with a fastest lap as well. Ocon, I think, is just a little bit too far up the road to have even bothered to try and catch, in truth. So yeah, there we go. It's going to be won by Lando Norris. That helps us. Russell is second, which is not ideal, but with fastest lap, are we going to actually get to the line here? We did finish the race. Okay.
Taking it back.
Perfectly managed. Perfectly managed.
We were there when it mattered.
So, up 5 with fastest lap. Like I say, well, it was the best we could do. Russell has gone ahead of Giovinazzi, so that's not great, is it? Yeah. So, and the constructors, I mean, it was just a bit of a shambles, really, wasn't it? So, yeah, let's not talk about that one too often. So, a few things now. That 6 seconds for Piastri would have been useful in the end. They might have even got on the podium with that. What did we do to your car, Giovinazzi? Oh, he's destroyed it. ERS, that was one of the better ones. So he's going to need to take a penalty for that at some point. The gearbox, well, that was a new gearbox too, wasn't it? Or was it? It was new-ish. So that's going to lead to penalties down the line for him as well. And the aerodynamics is not great, but we can probably just about work our way around that, I think. So that's not a complete and utter disaster. We're going to need suspension. Anyway, I'll do this off camera, but yeah, not ideal, but not the end of the world. But anyway, that's that. If you've enjoyed it, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be back next time. It's Silverstone next. It is Silverstone next. And we've only got 4 days, so hopefully we're going to have enough spare parts for that. Anyway, that's just a bit of a mess, that one, isn't it? Take care.